Welcome back to Be in Demand. I am your host, Laurie-Ann Mirabito, and today we are doing a special speaker breakthrough session with somebody from, I'm going to say like across the pond, all the way in Europe, who's been in my world for a long time. And if you listen to any of these speaker breakthrough sessions, these are people that are not my clients. They are people that are on my email list, follow me on social media, and raise their hand to say, yes, Laurie-Ann, I would love to do a coaching session with you on your podcast. So these are typically about some sort of speaking, visibility, putting yourself out there. So today we have Melissa. Melissa, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, Melissa, can you just introduce yourself to the audience?
All right. So, hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm living in France at the moment. I'm Canadian, originally from Canada. And so I started an online business because it's a little easier. Otherwise, it's a bit long distance, the commute.
Yeah.
And I help coaches organize retreats. So, and I'm here to help with visibility.
Okay. Every once in a while, I do hear somebody say, Laurie-Ann, do you know somebody who like
Yeah.
helps people put together retreats? So fantastic. Now I've got a little somebody. But let's talk about your visibility. Is it easy to get visible, or are you feeling like it's difficult to get visibility, or like the visibility that I'm doing, I just don't feel like I've got any traction? Tell me a little bit more about visibility.
I think it's a bit of a combination. So when growing up, like I had a lot of issues being in front of people and because I got bullied a lot in school. And so needless to say, I grew up being terrified in front of people, just standing in front of people. I remember doing a presentation at how old was I? 15, and I was shaking so badly, like to see that and the thing is, the classmates I had at the time were actually super supportive, but it's just that fear from when I was younger.
Right.
As I grew up, like, thankfully, like, I had a good, class in college where I got over that, and then actually working in cold calls, like cold sales helped a lot because I got hung up on a lot.
Congratulations, I think.
Something like that, but, actually having the script as, like, a backup for the beginning, and then once you get comfortable, you don't need it anymore. That it's definitely, like, that beginning with the script that helped me a lot, and then
Mhm.
I became rather good at sales from that, and then, yeah, so and now I homeschooled my son, so and then I actually we've recently gone to school, and then I was even teaching in front of his class, helping them with their English,
Mhm.
so
So I'm
it's
not hearing a visibility problem. I'm hearing like that was once upon a time.
nope, it's still in. It's when I'm in teaching mode, it's really easy. But
Okay.
I'm in front of people, like, I have to, for example, sell them something, right? And especially, when I think maybe it's also especially with the internet, it's maybe worse because I noticed that a lot of people just kinda take the liberty of saying whatever, and when the minute you put yourself out there, it's like you're just waiting for, like, this cloud to descend of, like, people, like, calling you all sorts of names and whatever, and it's just, I guess maybe it's a little bit of that still.
Mhm.
So, part of
So
it's the not being seen, and part of it's the not wanting to be seen because you tend to
uh,
attract the what we call keyboard warriors
mhm.
who say all the things they would never dare to say to you in real life.
And why do you give them so much power?
Honestly, I'm not sure, because logically, like, the logical part is that, no, that doesn't mean anything, but you still get emotionally affected. It's really hard to separate the 2, I find.
So have you gotten any haters yet?
No, and so far, nothing's been seen per se, though I got some weird stuff on Instagram because I was listening to somebody, "Well, be more personal on Instagram," and then the minute I started posting more personal stuff, it turned into a dating site. Just with the old guys coming along like, "Hey, how you doing?" So, "Oh,
I
well,
I understand that, and you just ignore them.
you know,
Like, what if you learned that in order, like, visibility is going to come with some unwanted attention.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you have to put your attention on the unwanted attention.
Yeah.
What if you kept your attention on the people you're here to help?
Mhm. Yeah. I think that's a lot easier because I'm making personal connections that shifts the perspective of because normally like when you talk to people, like when you make a connection with somebody, they're not gonna say stuff like that. The people who are saying stuff like that are people you'd never work with anyway.
Right, right. Like, who cares? I mean, I can't even tell you how many people DM me. Hey, here's a great one. Hey, Laurie-Ann, we would love to be your matcha supplier. I don't sell matcha. Okay. Like, like there's somebody who didn't do their homework, and I'm just like, bye bye,
Yeah.
bye bye. It's just like delete. I don't even reply to it. So
Mhm.
you have the power to decide, like, am I going to put my attention over here with the people who don't like me and that are stopping me? Or am I going to put my attention where it needs to be and help the people who need help so that I can do what I'm here to do?
Mhm. There was one quote that I really like.
Mhm.
It came from a people pleaser who wrote a book about being not nice, which is basically about unprogramming the nice mode. And
Right.
he was saying, like, he's developed the phrase saying, "I'm not for everyone."
It's true.
Yeah. But see, this is where the logic comes in, and then at the same time, like, I still find myself, like, emotionally wiped out because
Tell
it's
me
really
more.
hard. I remember, and this was a silly thing on Instagram. I had replied to this one post, for example, and it was from a famous person. And
Mhm.
so suddenly I had 4 people in my inbox pretending to be this famous person. Like, I don't know what it is with, like, people having no lives. Like, this one person pretended to be, like, 4 different famous people. I kept reporting them every single time. But it just I found, like, it was emotionally, like, just exhausting, I found. Like, just to deal with that, like, even just reading it. Like, I don't know, it just, it felt very exhausting.
It sounds to me like you are putting your attention on like too much instead of like, what if I just focused on this? But there's something that I want to go back to because in the very beginning, you talked about being bullied.
Yeah.
But at the same time, where you were afraid of speaking, you have you shared about like being able to step into that teacher mode, cold calling. You said like you've learned to. I'm not sure if you got over the bullying because it is one of the first things that you mentioned. So
Mm,
I'm wondering how much of the bullying is still in your muscle memory.
probably a lot because I think I react more to that kind of stuff, like, and I noticed, like, because I had trouble with my dad too, because he's, like, but they separated when I was young, and he's very oppressive, let's say. Like,
Mhm,
and he dictates a lot, and he's very, manipulative in that
okay.
sense.
Mhm.
Well, I can tell, like, because he used to interrogate, and maybe that's part of it too. And, I can tell that I still have issues when people are very forceful,
Mhm.
like, continue questioning. Like, I have a tendency to either respond or shut down automatically or shut down,
Okay.
and that because it's still in the like, that kinda like, it's a deeper response than a logical one. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
It does. You know, a lot of the clients that I work with, coaches who are speaking on stage, executives that are speaking in board meetings, they get that there was a bad moment. There was a bad memory that like keeps haunting them.
Mhm,
And to remind yourself when you're in that moment that you're safe.
mhm.
But I like to take it even a step further that you each day, whether like what's one of the first things that you do in the morning?
Run to get my kid ready.
Run to get your kid ready. Okay, like, is there any, like, time between when you get out of bed to when you wake up your child?
No, because I need to wake him up right away
Okay.
because he's a burger.
Okay, so we get him off to school. Is there so here's what I'm looking for, like, even if you're making coffee,
Right.
making breakfast, folding clothes, like, anything that's very routine that you can do and, like, incorporate this into this at the same time. So you're doing something that I'm gonna label as monotonous. It needs to get done, like
Right.
dishes need to be cleaned, you know what I mean? Like the house like you gotta vacuum, like little things like that, where you can just say over and over to yourself, "I'm safe. It's safe for me to be seen. It's safe for me to ignore the people that I don't wanna talk to. I'm safe
Right.
sharing my truth." Just to keep reminding yourself that you are safe. So basically, this is a form of meditation. And when we do meditation, we are like literally increasing blood flow to our prefrontal cortex. So that
Mhm.
when you're in those stressful situations, you have more blood
Yeah.
flow here. And you've,
Right. So
like,
you did with it because you did it when it wasn't stressful?
yeah, like, what was that deep breath for?
I have a question.
Mhm.
Man. How would you deal with somebody who's very insistent? Like I mentioned, I'm really bad with those kind of people, right?
Mhm.
So say for example, you choose to ignore this person and they're very insistent anyway.
Are we talking on
And you
social
know you get
media?
both. And the
Like social media?
well, those platforms there's also in person. I find social media is easier to ignore because you just pretend you didn't see them out.
Right. Right.
But like for example, if you're dealing with somebody in person, like and they keep coming at you, let's say for example, then what are things you can say specifically to kind of shut that down?
Can you give me an example? What's a time like, go
Mhm.
back to a time when this happened. What was the thing? I wanna give you, like, real life and not just general
Yeah.
tips and ideas.
So, like say for example, like somebody's bothering you to go to a party. Like I get the well, I don't want to go if you're not going. Like, well, why don't you just want to go? Why don't you just get over it? But now I can't go because you're not going.
Okay. I
Or
would
those kind of
I would smile at them and just say, "I can see that this party is really important to you, and I think that you should go. Go have fun."
yeah.
But it's also about your intention.
Right.
So if this person has, and again, like I'm not a therapist, but this is what I would do, okay? Is I would just be like, I am like, "Oh, fantastic. You definitely should go to that party and
Right.
have a great time. I'll stay home. I'll watch the little one. I'll take care of XYZ. Go have fun. You need to get out once in a while."
Yeah.
And just be like, "Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
And thank you for inviting me."
Okay.
Okay, so it depends on what is your intention inside.
Right.
If they're insistent and like almost like badgering you and you get this defensiveness,
Right.
okay, they might keep like it's almost like positive feedback like, all right, like if I badger her enough, she'll give in because
Right.
she's given in the past. But now you just like come at this with like love and care and like, I love the fact that you want to go to this party. Go have fun. You're changing the dynamics and you're changing their muscle memory. Cause now they're like, I used to badger and it used to work.
Right.
And it's not working this time. And so it's also about you developing that muscle memory too,
Right.
realizing you're powerful and you get to decide. Thank you very much. I appreciate the invite, but I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because
Does
it's
that
sort of putting yourself out there too is that you you get a lot more requests, a lot more people that are insistent, and then so you need to have that confidence, I guess, by that calm, the center.
what if you putting yourself out there was actually easy?
That'd be nice,
You'll never know unless you try.
right?
But what if it was easy? Like, just what if you had this mentality that putting myself out there is easy? What would that do for
Mm.
you? That belief.
I think it has gotten easier with age, but because I'm not dealing with 10-year-olds, but because they're vicious, like we're vicious.
Yeah.
But with adults tend to be a little more supportive. But I find that there are a lot of cultural differences too. Because I find it easier to put myself out there with people from North America, for example,
Mhm.
than in France.
Okay.
So, because I find we're very judgmental here.
Okay. So, no
So,
parlez-vous français. Just go on Instagram and talk in English. Talk to your
oh
North
yeah, no,
American
that's
people.
what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I prefer working with North American people.
All right. I have a homework assignment for you. I want you, well, let me ask you this first. What's your favorite social media? So we lost connection, unfortunately, but here's what I'm hoping you might still be able to hear me, whether you're hearing it now or you can hear it when this episode goes live. It sounds to me like your preferred social media is Instagram. And I want to challenge you for the next 14 days to go on to IG stories because they only last 24 hours. And I want you to go and just like talk to your audience about anything. What's going on in your day? Something about retreats, in-person events. That's what I want you to do. I want you to do this for 14 days. By doing this for 14 days, you're going to start to get into this habit. And that habit is going to take you further. And once you reach that 14 days, I then want you to say, I want to do it another day, one more day, one more day, and get a calendar and check off. I did it. I did this. So that you get to see, and especially like if you have a calendar that you can put like that's on a wall, someplace that you'll see frequently, I want you to start to see the check marks add up. And I think that's going to help you with this new muscle memory is to build this muscle of getting visible and noticing you didn't die. Noticing that people actually are responding. And again, I love IG stories because it's only 24 hours. So I want to encourage you, and I share this with all of my clients that I give this homework assignment to. Put a sticky note. If you're using your phone, put a sticky note on your face so that you're not looking at your face. I want you to look into the camera. You are building a skill to look into the camera, to look into other people's eyes. And that muscle memory is what is going to take you further. You're going to be teaching your nervous system that it's okay, that it's safe for you to do this. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to this episode. I'm so sorry that all the way from France, wherever she is, she just recently moved. The internet connection wasn't perfect for us today. So I hope that you'll take on this homework assignment for yourself as well. And if you would like to book your very own speaker breakthrough session, the link is down below. And until next week, I want you to be in demand.